Yo, what is good, y'all? Happy Thanksgiving. And today is going to be another tutorial video, but I'm going to be showing y'all how to make Spanish influenced guitar beats. And without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is open up any guitar. The one that I have opened up right now is Ample Guitar Lite 2. It's a free plugin, and basically how I made the pattern that I did was you're gonna want to be in any minor scale. I'm working in E minor. It doesn't matter which scale you work in, and you're just gonna follow. You're gonna start off with the first note in the scale, which is the E for me, and then you're gonna highlight it, copy it, transpose it down five notes, copy it again, transpose it up one note, copy it again, transpose it down 3, and then basically there you'll have your root notes. And then what you're gonna do, then you're gonna highlight it, go back to your pencil, shift click, and then you're gonna transpose it up 1 octave, and then you're gonna start building up your triads. So you start off with the root note, then you skip 1 note in the scale, go to the next, skip 1, and then go to the next. And then you do it for all 4 chords. And then you want to build the top melody, which is very catchy and repetitive. And for these kind of like dark or like melodic Spanish type beats, I usually like doing notes that are right next to each other that sound really good. So those would be like C and B and G and F sharp. So basically the pattern that I went with was E, F sharp, G, F sharp. So I basically just copied. Oh, why is that not happening? Basically, I just copied down this over here, and then over here, instead of going from the G back to the F sharp, I went from G to A. And then I copy and pasted all of that for another 8 measures, but I just transposed it down an octave, and that's basically the melody. And then for the effects that I added on it were a parametric EQ to take out some of the highs, some of the lows, and a bit of the mids. Then a fruity reverb, and I turned up the wet, I turned down the decay, and I turned down the dry. And then I added a halftime. So for the halftime, what I did is I put it on these settings on 1/2 loop, 1.5 mode, and then I took these 2 edges here, the fade in and the fade out, and I dragged them out to the edge where it says instant. And then basically this is basically how the melody is gonna sound like.
Who are you?
Alright, and then I added another parametric EQ because I thought some notes were a bit harsh. And then the last thing I added was fruity limiter, and all I did with it was I took out a bit of I put down the ceiling and the saturation so it wouldn't go past a certain dB, and that's basically all I did for the melody. And then of course at the end I did go down to the drop box here. Well, actually I pressed this little red button down here. Then you go to the Dropbox menu, disk recording, and then render to WAV files. And as I explained in my previous tutorial video, that it'll just render it out for you as a loop, and then I just named it guitar loop here, and then it's basically just plays for you. Alright, so moving on to the drums, the first thing I added was a clap, a very simple pattern, and this is how it sounds like. Alright, next thing I added was a perk. Alright, so basically how I start off my drums is I start off with the clap to kind of give the rhythm and the vibe going, and then I add like a perk or 2. I'm not a huge fan of percussion, so I kind of rely on my hi-hats to have all the sauce and everything like that. But I kind of start off with the clap and the perks they could just, and like the snares and stuff like that, to just kind of give the rhythm first to the melody, and then I add the hi-hats according to how I think how the rhythm sounds best. So now moving on to the hi-hats, this is how it sounds. Alright, so basically all I'm doing here is I'm just repeating this, my bad, I'm just repeating this throughout the entire loop. I paste it over here, paste it over here, and then over here all I do is that I switch it up at the end where I add a note right here. I extend it, I press E on my keyboard, highlight it, then I press Alt U, and then I mess with this time knob, and then I just chopped it, and then I mess with the velocity so it fade in and out. And then basically how I made it is I just pulled up my hat, I right clicked on the channel, and I put in fill each two-step, and basically all it does is it makes a two-step hi-hat pattern for you. I just extend all of the notes, and then I start taking some out, I add rolls and I chop them and do all that stuff, so then I kind of create a rhythm and flow there. This one, I don't know why I didn't mess with any of the velocities except for that one, but you can usually like mess with the velocities. Let's say like for this first roll, you kind of like fade it in, and then you could kind of just start increasing some of these and messing with the velocities. And that's basically how you make your hi-hats. And then the final thing I added for the drums was of course the 808, and it's a very simple pattern. Alright, so all it is here, I'm following the root notes of the melody, and then so I hit on the first one here, I give 2 measures of space, and then I come back here 1, and then I chop it on the second one right here because I kind of wanted it to chop before it hit here, give a tiny little space, and it hits back. Then of course I leave room, and then this one I come kind of before, and then I just paste this over here. Oh, didn't mean to do that, but I just kind of paste that over to the other side, and that's just the 808 pattern. And this is how it sound, all the drums sound by alone. Alright, so if you guys did get anything from this tutorial, please make sure to drop a like and sub down below. And as always, I'll leave my IG down in the description at The Real Lonely. And with all that said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
Who are you?